What if there was a world where societies crumbled at the attempt of sealing gods? Where cities once thriving in life, now sunken and destroyed into ruin? Where a once populated battleground became barren and bloodstained after the castle was sieged? Where a forest once designed to save lives now contained the souls of the damned and filled with ghouling fear? And in this world close to collapse, you, the player, must travel to the past and alter it to save the present. This world is Code Vein 2. This game is most likely going to become my favorite game of 2026, but why do I like it so much? Today, I'm going to be explaining why Code Vein 2 is most likely one of the best Souls-likes to ever come out in the past few years. I'm going to be explaining my reasoning by using the story, characters, combat, exploration, and overall how the game improved from its original counterpart 7 years ago. And before I begin, I would like to give a massive spoiler warning for this entire thing, since at the time of me recording this video, this game is legit a month old, so watch at your own risk. And with that out of the way, here is why Code Vein 2 is peak. Part 1. Combat. Now, how do we explain the combat in this game? This is gonna take a bit, so sit down and grab some popcorn, cause you're in for a ride when I talk about the combat in this game. When it comes to fighting in this game, it has been heavily reworked from the original. Instead of having 8 skills that can be mastered so you can mix and match it throughout multiple blood codes, your skills are actually locked to your weapon. And unless you make duplicates, you can't have more than one skill on any given weapon, requiring you to plan out what skills you want to bring for your next fight. In addition to how skills got reworked, armor is now completely removed, in exchange for a new jail system and defensive forma system. And I know what you're probably asking, why do I think armor getting removed is a good thing? So let me break it down for you. In normal Souls-likes, defense stats are a good thing. It's pretty much knowing how much you can take without having to heal. But with how broken healing is in Code Vein 2, and when you die your teammate assimilates into you, restoring your health, armor gaining you defense is kind of redundant.
Hold it! Armor is the quintessential aspect of RPGs. Defense is the most vital role in showing survival and vitality. Souls-likes have the same principle.
What does that even mean within the context of Code Vein 2? Why can't this game be different from other RPGs?
Well, I'm just stating facts. You can't jump.
Plus, in the original game, you have a parry system, so defense makes sense in that scenario. But in this scenario, the defensive format works more like a block buddy. And yes, I'm aware there's parrying in one defensive forma, but come on, if you're complaining that they're making the game more accessible to the general audience, I suggest touching some grass, getting off Twitter and Reddit, and getting a Oh, come on, can't even say it on YouTube anymore? Ugh. You know what? I'm not gonna get mad about this. Let's just continue on. We also get a brand new offensive forma system too. Shoutouts to the Blood Reaving Blade for being so OP. And even the booster system got changed as well. Now locked to your character instead of your blood code. This is a massive change because it allows you to change up your stats and playstyle while having to change your blood code at the same time, which is so nice. Now, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself talking about all the stuff that is external to the combat, so now let's talk about the weapons. In Code Vein 2, there are 7 weapon types. One-handed swords, two-handed swords, halberds, hammers, bayonets, and new to Code Vein 2, the twin blades and the rune blades. For most, if not the entirety of my playthrough, I stuck with the one-handed sword, and once I unlocked my second weapon, yes, you have to unlock your second weapon in this game by hitting level 10 on a jail, I stuck with the rune blades, only to finally switch to the bayonet at the very end of the playthrough. Now, I'm saying this right now, there is no wrong way to play this game. In fact, the combat system is super customizable, making prepping for bosses more like a fun puzzle than just banging your head into a wall trying to brute force it. And breaking it forward to flow here, the combat in this game can actually get really funny, and here's a clip for the proof. Alright, we'll do that. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, you bitch. Oh, the explosion killed them. That's hilarious. Now, this is a personal thing of mine, but I love prepping RPGs, since finding a way to be a boss in a way that I find both practical and risky is what gives me the most joy in it. Oh, and speaking back to weapons, did I forget to mention that almost every single weapon type from the original game got buffed? The bayonets went from super niche and really good for aggro builds to literally busted and used in basically every single cheese strat in the entire game. The one-handed swords feel more fluid and have some of the best skills in the entire game. The hammers got more combat utility by adding more normal attacks and also feeling less like a budget two-handed sword and more like its own weapon type. The halberds, not like they actually needed any buffs or nerfs, they felt really good in the original. Now have a better time controlling the space around you with brand new set of skills and buffed range, and I'm not mad about that at all. And the two-handed swords? Okay, sadly these kinda got the short end of the stick and overall feel nerfed since they were so busted in the original. I wish I was lying when I say that the best weapon in the original game was a two-handed sword. And it's not even just weapons that got buffed, the statuses on bosses even got buffed as well, with Venom being a major highlight here, and I was not familiar with the game for a majority of my playthrough, Venom. I'm so sorry for not using you. You may notice I mentioned healing getting buffed, I'll talk about that later. Harder's getting buffed as well, and also as well as the assimilation being a great action as well. And overall, the combat feels so overhauled that it feels great. Now, I feel like I could talk about the combat alone in its own video, but I ain't doing that shit. So let's just move on before I literally fan dragon over the combat for literal hours. Part 2. Overworld/exploration. Now, it's not just the combat that got overhauled, the overworld got massively changed as well. It literally goes from Dark Souls to Elden Ring. And there are still dungeons, but you'll have to find said dungeons within the grand open world exploration that is now Code Vein 2. And if you guys know my preferences to games, I'm not a personal fan of pure open world, so this is a nice change for me. And thanks to the linearity of the dungeons, it breaks the aspect of the pure open world, and allows players who aren't too heavy into open world gameplay, as of myself, to still enjoy the game and what it is. But for the sake of me finding some negativity, fuck finding the entrance to Limestone Cave! I'm just gonna show you where to go for this part because, oh my god, it's annoying! You're welcome! So, what was I saying again? Oh yeah, the exploration! What I like most about exploring this map is how you feel rewarded for exploring. You find these towers with dog statues or these heart-looking nectars around the map? Congratulations, your healing is buffed! You also can find skills and other weapons the more you explore. And even though there are enemies around, you don't feel like you're underleveled or underperforming by 40 fights. Also, may I forget to mention you get a motorcycle to help with your exploration? Yes, I said motorcycle. Because look at this map, jeez, it is massive! But yeah, overall, the open world exploration, broken up with linearities of dungeons, it is so much fun and provides a way for people who enjoy both styles of gameplay to have fun. Part 3. The story. Look, for this segment, I'm gonna do my best to not spoil the entirety of the story, but spoilers will be happening, so you have been warned. The story isn't good. But long story short, you wake up with half of your main companion's heart, and yes, I'm not making this up, and your mission is to travel back in time to find catalysts to slay the heroes of their respected areas and stop the world from collapse. And after you do the quest to slay the hero, you are free to go back in time after finding a catalyst and alter the past to save them. And all the characters you meet throughout the story, including the heroes themselves, are so kind-hearted and they grow within their own stories as well. It makes you feel happy and glad for choosing to redeem these heroes and alter the past instead of following Lady Lavinia's orders. Every character in this game feels genuinely alive within their lines, actions, and more. And I think that's why I prefer Code Vein and Code Vein 2 in terms of world building more than other Souls-likes. In most Souls-likes, you feel alone, only getting help from others to continue on your own. But in this game, you are fighting alongside these characters, helping them with their goals, making the world feel alive again. And them being grateful for your actions only adds more reward for you going for 100%.
Let's go home. They're all waiting for us.
Okay.
Okay! After talking about this game for as long as I did, I have to admit I have fun playing it. In fact, most of this footage you saw in this video was actually from a New Game Plus save, since I 100%ed the game in literally 2 weeks and ran out of stuff to do after beating every boss. But yeah, Code Vein 2 is a phenomenal game, and if somehow I didn't convince you to play it even after the spoiler warnings, then I don't know what will. But I do recommend it to people who are looking to get into the Souls genre, 100%. Thank you guys so much for watching me talk about this game, and I'll see you all later.